So everybody, welcome to my ultimate and dream desk setup right behind me. Let's get into it. So leave a comment down below, but I definitely think that a desk setup is something that's always evolving and there's never really a finished point because you can always update one new thing, grab a new accessory, a new chair, a new desk even, desk mat, monitor, even a new computer, and things are going to be ultimately evolving over time. But I finally kind of set up a situation that I'm very happy about when it comes to the aesthetic, the look, the functionality of it, my multiple operating systems that I use, and I wanted to share all the different accessories that I use to make this possible from beginning to end. So if you sit back and relax because we're going to be going through every single component, and the goal here is for you guys not to go out and buy everything all at once, but to pick and choose maybe one or two different items that maybe will help supplement your current setup and help it ultimately elevate what you have going on. So let's get started right now. But now before we continue, if you guys like videos like this one and you guys want to support the channel, subscribing and liking this video is the best way to do so. But now let's get into this desk setup. So let's quickly go over the chair and the desk because I've been using both of these for a little while now, so I won't belabor it too much. But I'm using the Odin by FlexiSpot, which is going to be their stand desk. And the main thing I'll recommend when choosing a standing desk, because there are a bunch of different companies that make it, and now they're relatively on the cheaper side. But if you can splurge a little bit, I would splurge on getting a four-legged model because it'll just help from a stability standpoint overall, especially when you are using it in that standing format. So definitely look for a four-legged one if you can, and this one by Odin has been amazing for years now at this point. So I'll leave this link down below as well as everything else I talk about in order of me mentioning it. And the chair that I have is going to be the Sihoo Doro C300, which is going to be a more premium level chair. It's extremely comfortable, it's got great lumbar support, great breathability because of the material that it chooses. Everything can be customized from how far you can lean back, to the armrest, to the arm angles and things like that. So if you're looking for a premium chair that isn't going to absolutely break the bank and it's not going to cross $1,000, this one by Sihoo is going to be an amazing option, and they also make some more budget-friendly options if you guys want to check those out. But I will say, because it is a more premium level chair, it is a little bit on the heavier side, so if you do have carpet, which I do, it is a little tedious to move it around your studio or your office. So I would recommend putting some sort of hard surface if you can, if you do end up picking this one, because like I said, it is made out of heavier materials overall. Even though it is more comfortable, it is harder to move around on something like carpet. Now before we get into the monitor and the computer and the iPad, I do want to highlight what's the biggest change that's come to my desk setup, which is going to be the Gather collection by Ugmonk. So if you can see, I got a lot of white and light wood accents on here, and it's because I added a bunch of different products and accessories from a company called Ugmonk, and it's part of their Gather collection. So the main one you're going to see here is going to be the monitor riser, and what I love about this is just the overall build quality material. This thing is very heavy and very robust, but in a way that really shows off the premium nature of it, and you know that it's going to be lasting for a very long time moving forward. So what I like about all of their materials in this Gather collection is that everything is made out of metal and everything is magnetic at the end of the day. So as you can see, I do have my Sotsu side kind of monitor on the right hand side, and because that base is made out of metal, it magnetically attaches and secures itself. Again, they're not associated with each other or anything like that. It just so happens that coincidentally, it does add a nice little touch to give you a secure fit when it comes to putting anything metal on top of this monitor riser. So you can see on the left hand side of the monitor riser, I have a little kind of tchotchke holder over there, which is going to be another piece by Gather, which holds just a few loose things. The monitor riser also has kind of like a little cubby underneath, and that's what houses two main things. It's going to house my iPad Pro when it's not in use, and then secondly, a little tripod that I use by a company called ShiftCam, which I then eventually use as my webcam because I use continuity camera in my iPhone, because as you can see, I have no dedicated webcam in my actual desk setup. Another nice addition by Ugmonk is going to be their 4-in-1 organizer, which again is just meant to use in a modular fashion with its magnetic accessories. So here I have 3 different accessories on this plate, which is going to be this cup or pencil holder where you can put miscellaneous things. Again, I have a bunch of different Apple pencils that I use, the Apple Pencil alternatives that I'm testing out, so I always put those there. And then you kind of have this zigzag holder, which allows you to put other pencils and things like that. So again, this is just basically a big pencil holder for me. And then at the very end of it, that takes up one final spot, is going to be another section there to hold other pieces of material. Like I have a smart ring in there. I have these little basketballs that I can lose very easily, but this just gives me a place to put these kind of miscellaneous things that I normally would throw around or lose, and I put them in this little holder. And then the last piece that I have all the way on the far left is going to be my headphone holder, or the headphone stand that I have by Ugmonk in their Gather collection. Again, everything just matches very aesthetically, very easily. It's super easy to set up, very easy to put together. There's no tools that are really needed, and if there are tools that are needed, they do come included. So definitely check them out if you like modularity, if you like magnets, and again, if you like high level and premium accessories for your desk setup, which fits perfectly in my new aesthetic. But now underneath that monitorizer, I am rocking the baseline model M4 Mac Mini, and then underneath of that, I'm using Satechi's brand new M4 Mac Mini hub and SSD enclosure. So this little hub, it puts an additional 3 USB-A ports with 3.2 Gen 2 speeds. You also get an SD card read, which is UHS 4.0, so it's going to be the fastest standard. And then finally, you do get an SSD enclosure, no SSD included, but you can put up to an additional 4 terabytes or even 8 terabytes, I believe, of NVMe storage that goes built in to the stand and hub, and it connects to the back of it via a USB-C cable. And then if we continue to look under that, I also have my Caldigit TS4 hub, which I believe is a 17-in-1 USB-C hub or Thunderbolt 4 hub, and I have that plugged into the back of my Mac Mini, so you can see that I have a ton of different peripherals that I can use however I see fit. And I do want to state that since I am rocking the M4 Mac Mini baseline model, I am limited to Thunderbolt 4 ports, but there is a Thunderbolt 5 version if you guys do want to get the M4 Pro Mac Mini, and there are some suitable accessories for that. Albeit right now there aren't too many Thunderbolt 5 accessories, but it's good to know that faster speeds will be available in the future, but Thunderbolt 4 for me is more than fast enough. So now on top of the monitorizer, I wanted to come up with some sort of speaker solution because I didn't think I had enough room to have speakers flanking on each side, and I also don't really like the look of it. I thought about getting 2 HomePod minis to maybe give me some stereo sound, but I ended up landing on the BlueAnt Soundblade. So as you can see, there's something sitting right on top of the monitorizer underneath the actual monitor itself, and this is actually a Bluetooth, USB-C, and auxiliary speakers. So this does need to be wired in, so this isn't like a wireless Bluetooth speaker that you can take around with you, but it does provide an immense amount of sound. It has 2 subwoofers underneath, it gives you a nice little thump, and it kind of fits perfectly on there. It was purpose built with the iMac in mind, so the idea here is to have a monitorizer and speaker in one, where you can put your iMac on top of it. But in this situation, it works perfectly fine for me and for what I need it for. I have it plugged in via USB-C to my Caldigit hub, which then connects to the Mac Mini, so I do have my audio defaulting to that if I don't have headphones in, because yes, the Mac Mini is a great computer in its own right, but the speakers built into them are extremely tinny, so definitely take that into account. But this speaker, I love the form factor, I think it's very unique, and it gives you enough of a sound upgrade to warrant the price of, I believe, $120 or $130, so definitely check it out. And like I said, it's also a Bluetooth speaker if you want to use it in other situations. And then when it comes to monitors, you can see that I still have my BenQ 32-inch, I believe it's the 4K designer monitor, so the PD322U, I believe it is. I'll leave it linked down below. And this designer monitor has been amazing for my use cases. It is a single cable monitor, single cable solution, 4K, gets plenty bright for indoor use, and it also acts as another hub. So you can see I have ports galore if you really want to. So if you only have, let's say, a MacBook Air or a MacBook Pro, or just a Mac Mini without something like the Caldigit or the Satechi hubs, then you have an additional few ports on the rear of this BenQ monitor. So if you guys are looking for a purpose-built for Mac BenQ monitor, this one's the way to go. And I believe they also have it in a 27-inch variant as well as a 32-inch one with a 5K monitor, I believe, on the horizon. So definitely stay tuned for a video review on that one. And then flanking that monitor is going to be my vertical monitor, which I recently mentioned and did a review video on, which is going to be the Sotsu Flip Action Elite 16. Now this is a monitor that's built more so for portability than anything else, but I love the aesthetic, I love the look. It literally looks like a giant iPad because of the bezels being exactly the same, and it kind of has that same bezel thickness and things like that. It still has that same aluminum build that you see with a lot of Apple accessories, and if you guys want to see my review on it, I'll leave it linked down below because it's a very unique portable monitor where they've thought of everything. So overall, as a side secondary monitor for me, as a vertical monitor to have things like my notes, or maybe the 9to5 Mac website so I see what's going on, I definitely recommend checking this one out for a portable monitor solution, or like I said, as a secondary monitor for a desk setup solution. And then of course we have to talk about peripherals. So in front of the monitorizer and the monitor, what I use is Orbikee's XL desk mat, and this has to be one of my favorite desk mats of all time because it's multifunctional. So the first thing you're going to notice is that it has this kind of track on the top of it, which is a magnetic track and brings some little magnetic accessories for cable organizers. So you can organize your cables through there. And I also like putting my Apple Pencil on there because again, Apple Pencil is magnetic. This is magnetic, so you know it's not going to roll off and it's not going to go anywhere. The second function is that you can actually hide away, loose leaf papers, some brochures, cards, because you can flap it open because the bottom is made of felt and the top is made out of vegan leather. And then finally, I love the color, I love this beige look, and I love how big it is as well because it really protects the actual surface of my desk at all times. And then on top of that, I have Satechi's mechanical SM1 keyboard, which is going to be the more compact one. I believe it's a 70% or 75% size one, and I absolutely love it because I've always wanted to get into mechanical keyboards, and I've tried in the past, but I'm so used to the chiclet style keyboards that I've been very hesitant, or it feels very tedious to type on a regular mechanical keyboard. And this one's a perfect middle ground because you still get the sound and kind of the sensation of using mechanical keyboard, but it's a lot more low profile compared to a regular mechanical keyboard. So if you're kind of on the fence, definitely try this one out for I believe $60, and they just released their SM3, which is the full-size version of this, giving you the full number pad, the directional pad, and everything else that comes with a full-size keyboard. And then lastly, probably my longest tenured product, my Logitech Anywhere S2 mouse, which I've had for about 7 years now at this point. Now they're on the S3, of course, and I believe it does charge via USB-C, connects up to 3 different devices, lasts you for 6 months at a time on a single charge, very easy to use, very self-explanatory, and at the end of the day, it's probably the most premium mouse at the most budget level price that I've ever recommended. And then when it comes to charging solutions, I do have my Nomad 3-in-1 stand charger. So it charges my iPhone at 15 watts because it is Qi 2 enabled. It has a 5-watt Apple Watch charger, as well as a 5-watt AirPods Pro, or any headphone that charges via wireless charging. So that can charge up to 5 watts, and that's what I use as my main charger for, let's say, something like my iPhone. And then behind that, like I mentioned, I do have the Ugmonk Gather headphone stand, but I am using my Sonos Ace on the headphone stand. And right now, I believe they're $100 off. And for all the hoopla that the Sonos Ace application has gotten, I really don't even use the Sonos app that much to begin with, but I love the Sonos Ace headphones. They are by far my favorite over-ear noise canceling headphones. They're comfortable, the battery lasts forever, the active noise cancellation is second to none, the awareness mode really rivals transparency mode on AirPods Max. So if you guys want an amazing pair of headphones for $350, those Sonos Ace are the way to go, and they pair with my Arc Ultra amazingly to begin with. And then underneath the monitor stand on the other side, I have the case, or the charging carrying case, for my Even Reality G1 glasses, which is what I use on a day-to-day basis as my smart glasses. I do have a review coming out with these very soon, so definitely stay tuned for that. But that's where I keep that in there, because these give you about a day and a half of battery life, with the case giving you an additional 5 days, but I just kind of like to keep them there when they're not in use to make sure they're always topped off and ready to go. And I do have some other smaller things like the lighting on the back, which is a Miro's lighting strip. I have the halo light on top, which is also by BenQ. That lamp back there is from IKEA, and then I have the Kyuksu kind of LED lamp on the desk itself that I like to use for aesthetic reasons. So I just like to have different lighting situations, but those aren't really permanent. I kind of move those around as I see fit. So like I mentioned, I absolutely love my new desk setup. I'm very excited every single day that I come in and get to work on there because I know that I have the perfect situation and everything works how I want it to. It's very modular when I need it to be. The Gather collection allows me to plop things off and on whenever I need them, so if I need new prompts, I can do that. And then when it's time to get some real work done, like if I'm editing a video or editing a thumbnail, I just pull on my iPad Pro and use that right in front of me, or even I can connect a USB-C cable to then use the iPad Pro extended monitor support and use things like Stage Manager, while the Mac Mini is still there as well. I can also use the Mac Mini and the iPad Pro in conjunction with Universal Control, as well as something like Sidecar to give me another display on my Mac Mini if I really wanted to. So there's a multitude of ways that I can use my desk setup depending on what my use cases and what my needs are for that given moment or that given day. But that'll do it for my desk setup, everybody. Let me know in the comment down below what you think. Which one is your favorite accessory? Which one would you add to your current setup? Was it the monitor stand? Was it the headphones? Was it the Soundblade speaker, the charger? Let me know in the comment down below what your favorite accessory was from this video. And also leave a comment down below of what your favorite accessories that you currently have on your desk that everybody should know about, and maybe leave a link down below and people can check it out. But if you guys want to support the channel, definitely consider subscribing because it really helps out and makes us motivated to make more videos. If you guys want that wallpaper on the back, definitely consider becoming a channel member because we get monthly wallpapers, anywhere from 6 to 12 brand new wallpapers on a monthly basis. And if you do sign up, you still get all the monthly wallpapers from months past, which I believe we're up to over 100 different custom wallpapers. So definitely check that out. But if you made it to the end, leave a little dolphin in the comments down below so I know you made it to the end. And if you want to watch more videos like this one, definitely check out one of these videos right here. And until next time, I'm Fernando. I'm out, everybody. Peace. Back to work.